Hey friends,
Hey friends,
welcome back
welcome back
to another
to another
video.
video.
Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Sophia. This is my channel, Sophia Sees Beauty, where I review all things beauty and makeup, especially luxury makeup. If you are not new here, then you're probably noticing I'm not in my usual filming setup. I am actually home in New Jersey for the Christmas weekend. I'm filming this the day after Christmas. And so today we're gonna be doing something a little bit different. As you can see, I'm not wearing any makeup today. I'm wearing my Christmas pajamas. We're just having a very relaxing morning here at home. Last time I was home, I was looking for something in my bathroom and I came across this. And I didn't know what it was. I opened it up and I realized it was a bunch of makeup that I had had probably around like the middle school, high school era of Sophia's life. And this reminded me of another video that Jen Love did on her channel. I will link her channel down below. She does a lot of really amazing beauty reviews, and her mom actually found her old caboodle from probably the 80s or 90s, and she did a video going through all of the products in the caboodle, talking about how she got into makeup, kind of reminiscing about, makeup years past and those types of things. And so I thought it would be really fun to go through some of my at least higher luxury end items that I just cherished when I was younger, and kind of talk about how the makeup community has changed, talk about how I got into makeup, and just overall reminisce about some of my favorite products and just my love of makeup when I was growing up. Before we get started, please consider subscribing to my channel. This is a very chill video today, no reviews, but normally I review all kinds of luxury products, exciting new releases. Also, please consider following me on Instagram. I will link my handle down below in the description box, and I will also put it up on the screen. We have a lot of fun over on my Instagram. I do a lot of little get ready with me's. I do mini reviews. I tell you guys about great sales that are going on, so definitely check me out there as well. And if you guys like this video, please take a second to give me a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. I'm new here on YouTube, and so every thumbs up counts. Thank you guys so much for your support so far. I don't know if you guys can see my 15-year-old cat Lucy here trying to steal the show. She's probably gonna fall asleep and we'll be good. All right, let's get into this little time capsule. I haven't really taken a look into what exactly is in here. My guess is that it's going to be a mix of drugstore items and whatever I bought from Macy's. I live in a pretty small town. We're not super close to any major cities. Pretty much my makeup collection when I was in, middle school and high school was a mix of whatever I could find at the drugstore and then whatever I could afford at Macy's. We really don't have a lot of big shopping malls here. And so a lot of my makeup came from Macy's, and that's probably what you're going to see in this box. I did have a lot of drugstore items. In fact, some of my earliest memories of makeup is just going to the drugstore with my grandfather because he'd be running errands and he would bring us girls along with him. We used to go into this little kids section where they had toys, and I don't know if you guys remember this at all, but back then there was a toy aisle and they had little kid makeup in there. They had little palettes that had little eyeshadows, little blushes, little miniature lipsticks, and that is what I wanted. I just wanted the makeup from the drugstore, and I would take it home. My grandfather, God bless him, would buy it for me. I would take it home and I would put all the blush on my face, and those are some of my earliest memories of loving makeup, enjoying makeup, in addition to just watching the women in my family get ready for things, putting on makeup. But I definitely had an obsession that no other woman or man in my family had with makeup. If I did have any spending money, I definitely was spending it on makeup, beauty, clothes, cute things from Limited Too. When I go through things like these, which we're gonna get into it in a second, it always reminds me of, back in the good old days, we didn't have as much makeup as we do now. We didn't have as many launches. I didn't know really how to do my makeup. Everything was trial and error. I feel like these days, Gen Z, they have the social media to show them how to contour, show them how to do their brows. I didn't have any of that, okay? But I love thinking of a simpler time when my makeup collection was a lot smaller. Everything that I could afford and every little item that I got, I really cherished, I really used up, and we'll probably see, I opened up one or two things in here and you can see I've hit pan, they're almost empty. God knows why I still have them. I probably saved these because they were just something that, meant a lot lot to me and I didn't want to throw them out. So yeah, let's start getting into this and we'll see what's inside. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of Clinique products. Again, Macy's, guys. I'm seeing a lot of Clinique products and Estee Lauder. Some of the earliest pieces of makeup that I had, just because I was a kid and I didn't have, I didn't have a job, I didn't have tons of spending money, etc. A lot of my earliest makeup pieces were from my grandma because she loved to buy things from Estee Lauder and sometimes Clinique, and then she would give me whatever came in the free gift, okay? I know they still have the free gifts, but back then, man, I wanted that free gift. Had to get the free gift because it meant extra makeup. So she used to give me the little extras from the free gift, and that's probably why I have so many little mini things in here. And as a result, I became a big fan of Clinique, and I used to go to Macy's, and Clinique was kind of most of the makeup that I had at one point, and everything was so natural. I look back at photos of myself from middle school and high school, and I think, am I even wearing makeup? Because everything was so light, unlike now how everything is done maybe a little bit bolder for Instagram. I was wearing Clinique and everything was super natural, super light. Like everything in here is very natural colors. So let's take a second and check what we have in here. So we've got some lip products here. This is like a little lip duo in the colors Black Honey, which we all know is a classic at Clinique, even to this day. Everything had to have Black Honey in it if they gave it out as a gift. And then this is Shy Beige. We have some gross purple lip gloss here in the color Mystic. Yet another extremely basic, extremely neutral lip gloss in the color Whisper. We have a lipstick in the color Rose Taffy, which this is the kind of stuff you would get in the free gift. It would be super basic, rose color. This is a shimmery rose, it looks like, that, they thought, oh, this would work for everyone. But of course, it only works with certain types of skin tones. You'll probably see this in a lot of the Clinique makeup, is that it was very light, probably didn't work for a lot of darker skin tones, probably definitely not as inclusive as we are now with a lot of other brands. But this is the kind of color that I would never wear right now, a shimmery rose. This doesn't really appeal to me. This looks like the kind of basic color that you would get in a free gift. Ooh, this is cute. Okay, so this is a little palette, and as you can see, you've got some very neutral colors. This is the blush in New Clover, which they put that blush in every single palette. It's like, of course, a rose shade, a basic pink rose shade. You would get the little applicators here, which of course, I only had probably a couple of brushes, so everything was applied with, oops, they fell out. And then you get this cute little gloss, and this is the color Air Kiss. So cute. I also have this cute little eyeshadow palette with, once again, very neutral colors. Everything from Clinique just came in these colors, right? Like everything just came in these particular colors. I remember there really were not palettes back then. There were eye quads, I believe, from Clinique, and my favorite ones were called Teddy, which was more of a neutral brown tone, and then there was another one that was called Spicy that my best friend told me about, and that was more warm tone browns for sure. Does anybody remember those colors? I wonder if those colors are still around. Yeah, everything was in singles. I remember I didn't really get into palettes yet until after college, when I believe one of the first palettes that I ever bought, sort of bigger palettes at least, was the Anastasia Modern Renaissance. And I thought that was such a beautiful palette. And I believe I also had the Naked 2, I want to say. I don't think it was until Urban Decay started launching those Naked palettes where we started to see more people actually interested in palettes and actually interested in having more colors. But until then, we basically just had eyeshadow singles from top brands, or we just had these little, singles, trios, and quads from all of the major brands out there. We also have a blush in the color Extra Rose, because we want it to be extra rosy. I feel like every blush back then when I was growing up was this color. Does anybody feel that way? Every blush had to be rose. There was no neutral colors. There was no purple colors. Like everything was just a shade of rose. You best believe I was rosing up my cheeks back then with this blush. All right, and lastly from Clinique, I see here, this is the Touch Tint for Eyes. So what's interesting about this is that there really are not a lot of cream products that I would use when I was growing up. I feel like cream products were not really popular yet back then. And I think it's very interesting that we're kind of going through a rebirth and a repopularity of cream products. I never would have thought to buy this if it wasn't for the salesperson saying, oh, you know what? Try this out. You can use this as a base for your eyeshadow. Let me show you how to use it. And, you know, middle school or high school Sophia was trying to use cream products and I really had no idea how to use this, but this is in the color Nude Sparkle, which of course, very nude. It doesn't look like I used that much of this, but I remember trying to use this as sort of an eyeshadow base because at least in my world, there was no such thing as eyeshadow primers. I didn't know what that was. I just did my base and my concealer and then I went straight in with my eyeshadow. I didn't have all of these different like primers and setting sprays and all of that good stuff. So that looks like it is it for Clinique. Okay, so I found this one sad little tube of MAC lip gloss and this is in the color Clear and is this the packaging that we were okay with back then? Because I'm looking at this and it seems as though maybe it was a refill or something along those lines, but there's still a little bit in there, guys. Okay, so let's talk about MAC for a second. We already talked about Clinique. Clinique was very natural, still very natural, and when we didn't want natural and we wanted something more exciting, we had MAC. MAC was, to me, the it brand. It had the coolest setup in the mall. They had all these amazing colors. There was just so much more color, more formulas to play with. I also have an older cousin who's 3 years older than me, and of course I wanted everything that she had. She had a whole makeup bag full of MAC products. I used to watch her get ready, put on all the fancy eyeshadow. She had all of the lip glosses and she wasn't doing anything crazy, but the makeup products just seemed so cool to me. And so my cousin at the time, like she was my influencer. I wanted whatever she had. There was no social media to tell me what I wanted to buy. It was whatever she had or whatever maybe my friends had. Those were the things that I wanted to buy. And a lot of times I wonder what happened to MAC. I feel like this brand was the hottest thing. I think it's good that they're keeping a lot of the products that are tried and true, that their clientele really enjoys buying, but I just feel like they're not really innovating anymore. Comment down below and let me know what you think. I feel like they're launching the same old stuff over and over, the same Lunar New Year highlighter. They have a couple of interesting collabs, but then they come out with stupid things like the Sims collection where they just repurposed another palette and said, yeah, this is the Sims. It just made absolutely no sense for the brand. I'm really not excited by anything that they're doing. And you have to ask yourself, what is the reason for that? Can they just not get, you know, younger or fresher people into management to be able to design more exciting products and formulate more exciting products? Or is it that they actually are doing perfectly fine with sales and there's a lot of people that just love their tried and true products that maybe they actually don't need to innovate, and Estee Lauder is planning on just keeping MAC the way that it is. Maybe they have some really core products that sell really well, and then other than that, perhaps Estee Lauder is acquiring other companies to add to their portfolio, to add something new to the greater portfolio of the Estee Lauder brands. Comment down below and let me know what you think. Do you think MAC is going to come out with anything interesting this year? Because I look at this little lip gloss and I think, man, that was such a cool brand. I really miss old MAC, guys. Okay, so I just pulled some of these items out. These items are from Dior. I know, how bougie was I? And I think that these are some of the most interesting products that are probably in this box, so I'm really excited to go through these. I'm looking at them and I already know exactly what they are. So a little bit of background here. As I mentioned, I grew up in kind of a small town. We didn't have that many retailers and I didn't travel much, but a lot of times in the summer, I would go to Greece to stay with my grandparents in their little village. And so on the way to Greece, obviously I would have to go to the airport with my family. I would have to ride on the plane in order to get to Athens. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but on the plane, I don't know if they still have this anymore. On the plane, you used to have the duty-free magazine, and the duty-free magazine had all of these awesome things and random things that you could buy, but there was a lot of really great beauty deals, and there were a lot of great sort of travel size novelty types of things that you could buy. Every time I got on the plane, I immediately opened up the duty-free section and I went to go see what they had in the beauty section. And so all of these products are things that I bought on the plane on the way to Greece. And the most hilarious thing is that I wasn't going anywhere fancy. Like, I was just going to the village. I was going to the village and like using my little Dior products and like trying to do my makeup for basically nobody, but I think that that was so cute. So let's get into these items, starting with the best one. Okay, this is a little Dior lip gloss, lip lacquer ring, I would say. So first off, let us just admire this adorable little ring. I'm definitely taking this home with me after this because this is just too cute. This is gonna go on my vanity. So basically what it is a little Dior ring, a little keychain. I don't know. It has this little chain on it so you can, I don't know, put it on your backpack or something. I don't really know who was buying this. Okay, it has the name of it in here. It says Dior Princess Ring Gloss and Lipstick 001 made in France. So it's a little ring and then it opens up like this. And so you have a little lip lacquer and a little gloss. So you have kind of a purpley shade and then you have this light colored gloss right here. And this was so cute. I remember seeing this in the magazine and thinking, oh my gosh, that is the cutest thing ever. I love how Y2K this is. You've got like the baby pink, you have the rhinestones. This just reminds me of something that maybe Paris Hilton would have hanging from her bag, something along those lines. I'm just imagining myself carrying this around, not really understanding what it is and how to use it, but thinking that it was just the cutest little thing ever. This is such an adorable little tchotchke. This is how you can tell I was so obsessed with luxury beauty or whatever luxury beauty I could get my hands on at the time. And yeah, sometimes, you know, some people, we never change. All right, we've got another lip product right here, and this is the Dior Voyage Lip Towers. So let me open this up and show you. I know what these are. Like, I remember buying these. This is a little tower of potted lipstick. So you would sort of take it off here and you have these colors, which are all of these weird purple and pink shades. And then there's another one here of nude shades. And so the way that this would work is that you would take the little cap off. There'd be this tiny little lip brush, and then check this out. And then you would have all the little lipsticks come out like this, and you would sort of be like, which ones do I want? And you would take your little lip brush and you'd be like, just like paint it on my lips. So I remember this being just like the funnest little thing to play with as a kid. I don't know what grown woman who buys Dior is using this like little stupid lip tower. But again, this is something that you would buy from the duty-free catalog. It probably was a different quality than the regular Dior makeup. It was probably made for a very specific customer that's purchasing from the duty free. But I just love how, again, how Y2K this is. It's so cutesy, it's so dinky. I love that it came with the range of tones, and this was exactly what, you know, younger Sophia was dying over at the time. Okay, so we have one more Dior Voyage type of collection, and this is a face palette. I remember exactly what this is. This definitely was something that I got from duty free. And so this is the palette. You get a face powder, a sort of rosy terracotta blush. You get this mini little mascara right here. I don't want to drop it, sorry guys. I also don't want to blind you with the mirror. You get these very natural colored eyeshadows right here, and then wait for it, you slide this open. Even today, I'm just like, ooh, this is so cute. I love it, knowing full well that whenever I buy these, I never use them. I used them when I was younger. You open it up and you have the little applicators, you have two little lipsticks, and then you got some more applicators over here. And of course, everything is made in like the palest shades. This was not accessible to people with other skin tones. Like, this is the skin tone that they were selling for, which at the time, I mean, it worked for me, but you can clearly see there was no light version, there was no dark version. Everything was like very, very natural. I don't really feel like we've strayed that much from these types of tones with a lot of luxury makeup, especially Dior. I'd like to see them do maybe something a little bit more interesting. When I think about these types of palettes, I think the closest thing that I probably have today are those instant look in a palettes from Charlotte Tilbury, and I love using those. And maybe it's because not only are they convenient, but they also kind of remind me of this time in my life when I had these fun little, face and eye palettes all in one. There is something cute and novel about just like having everything you need in a palette and being able to travel with it. I just love that. And then similarly, these types of products, this kind of reminds me of that new Fenty Gloss Bomb clip. You know, the one that they came out with this year where you clipped it on and you either thought, wow, that's so cool, that reminds me of Y2K, or you were like, ew, that's gross, I'm not dipping my germy fingers in there, because now we're all hypersensitive about germs. So there are things that come out that kind of remind me about these kitschy little products that I bought as a kid, and they definitely get me with the nostalgia there. But, you saw it here first, guys, okay? The Dior princess ring. Enough said. I can already tell that this video is going to be super long. I know it's really chatty, but it's the style of the video, guys. Speaking of going on planes and traveling, another product that I found under my sink is this Evian facial spray. And back then, I definitely would never have thought of buying this if it wasn't for Allure magazine. As I mentioned before, obviously we didn't have social media. We had magazines. We had word of mouth. We had our friends. We had our family members telling us what to buy, or maybe the sales associates in the store. And then we had Allure magazine. And I remember this being mentioned so many times in Allure as like, you need this when you travel to spray your face on the plane and keep your skin hydrated. And 15-year-old me is sitting there like, yeah, I need that. I need the Evian spray. And I don't even know where they sold this here where I live, but I found it and I use it, and I used to spray my face and I used to mist, and I was so into that. But yeah, man, I used to read Allure magazine cover to cover. I was so into that. That's really where I learned how to do my makeup. I don't feel like my family members really taught me how to do my makeup, and I was the older sister, so I was the one that was trying to figure everything out. I used to read Allure, and I used to go through all of the best of beauty, make a little list of all the things that I wanted to buy, and then like go to the drugstore, go to Macy's, and whatever I could afford, I would try to find that color, I would try to find that product so I could try all of the new and exciting products. And now we just have social media. We have a new collab launch every single day with like Sour Patch Kids and Monopoly and Disney and all this other kind of random stuff. This was just a simpler time where we read our magazines, we went to the store, we found some cute stuff. We didn't have all these crazy launches. I actually went into my bathroom because I remembered I had this book. This is the Allure book by Linda Wells, and it's called Confessions of a Beauty Editor. This is a book that I think I asked for Christmas, and it goes through like how to do your makeup, how to do different things. And I was just looking at it just now, and it says, like Smoky Eyes 101. And there's only 3 steps, and to me these steps make absolutely no sense, but these were the steps that I was following as a kid, as a teenager at least. Comment down below, let me know if you think it would be a fun video to kind of go through this book, pick out some of the things, read them out, and try and do my makeup as it says in this Allure book, and maybe just laugh at some of the things that I would never do, because I'm looking at this smoky eye tutorial and there's no tips about adding shadow into the crease and building up depth. There's none of that. It's literally like, put on some liner, put on some shadow, put on some mascara. And so that's what I was doing. Again, a simpler time. But man, I loved reading this book. I read it cover to cover, and this is how I learned how to do my makeup as a teenager. So I didn't find this in the little chest box, but I did find this under my sink, and this is a little Temp 2 instruction manual and warranty. Who remembers Temp 2? Because this is what I used all throughout college to do my foundation. If you don't remember, at Sephora, they launched this airbrush makeup system called Temp 2, and it came with a little, motorized component, and then you would buy cartridges and you put them or click them into a little hose, and then you would literally airbrush your face. And I remember when this first came out, I thought, that is the coolest thing ever. I must have that. And I was very self-conscious about my skin at the time. I was dealing with a lot of acne. I was dealing with a lot of redness. I was really trying my best to take care of my skin, but I had a lot of acne problems. And so I used to wake up every single morning in college and legit airbrush my face with this thing. It was so cool, but it was so full coverage. That stuff would stay on all day. You could not move it. You really needed something very oil-based to take it off. And thinking back, you know, it served me well. It served me well, but I would never wear something that full coverage now. Now I like light coverage. I've gotten control over my skin. I like something that's more luminous. I just want something that is a lot more natural. But man, I used to airbrush the ish out of my face with this Temp 2 airbrush system. Comment down below, did any of you ever buy that Temp 2 airbrush system? At some point they left Sephora. I'm not really sure what the issue was there. I think they were having a lot of supply chain issues. And that's kind of the point when I realized probably don't need to airbrush my face every morning. Can probably just, you know, do something a little bit, you know, more medium coverage, and then I kind of just switched over to that. So I know this is more of a luxury beauty time capsule, but here is one drugstore item that I found. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because this is a cream blush, guys. And cream blush was not popular back when I was growing up. I feel like everything was powder products, and just this year, or maybe the past 2 years, we've seen a huge resurgence of cream products. So I think it's so cute that I had this when I was growing up. You saw it here first, guys. 16-year-old Sophia started the cream blush trend. I was up on those trends years ago, guys. The other thing I love about this is that it is more of a neutral color. It's more of a peach color that I would use today. And this color is called Just Peachy. This is Revlon cream blush with pop-up mirror. Where's the mirror? Oh, that's so cute. I love that. Now I remember that being the case. All right. We're digging. Oh, look at this. So the actual product I don't think is in here. No, it's a, ooh, there's like ingredients and stuff though. If you guys don't know what this is the lip venom from Duop Cosmetics. This one in particular says it was the lip venom flash. And so this is the OG lip plumper that, at least in my world of makeup growing up, this was the lip plumper that we had. And man, it burned so good. I remember the only reason I knew what this was is because my friend had gone to New York with her family, and then she came back and she had the lip venom. So the lip venom was, you would get it in this little tube, and it would come in a tiny little vial, and you would paint it on, and it would be it had probably the same texture as the MAC lip gloss, and then it literally would burn your lips way more than anything that they have on the market today. I honestly miss this. I miss the lip venom. Everything that you see now is very gentle. A lot of times people complain about the tingling, they complain about the burning. Girl, you did not have the lip venom. Like, this thing burned so good. You either loved it or you hated it. And it comes with this little direction here. Venom Flash is a spicy, tingly gloss that enhances your lips' natural color and shape. Our original lip venom formula spiked with subtle gold shimmer. Exactly, as I said. Directions: apply as often as desired. A sensation of heat and tingling is normal. Some say desirable. Discontinue use if unpleasant irritation persists. And then it says here, hint, lace your kisses with Venom Flash to share the sensation. Could you imagine like kissing your boyfriend or your husband or something and then being like, oh my God, what is that? It burns. That sounds like a funny prank, actually. I'm trying to keep this video somewhat organized for you guys. So I think what we could do is just end on some of the lip products that are in here. So starting off with, okay, wow. So starting off with this very sexy Victoria's Secret lip lacquer. Does anybody remember when Victoria's Secret came out with their makeup line? I'm assuming they still have makeup stuff out today, but I remember they came out with those lip glosses that were basically the cheaper version of the Lancome Juicy Tubes, and everyone in my high school had those, and people would just be applying and glossing their lips with the Victoria's Secret Juicy Tubes. I don't know what they were called. This particular product is a lip lacquer in this bright, I don't know what you would call this, like a berry magenta shade. I'm actually kind of surprised that I had something this bright, but I'm pretty sure it went on very sheer on the lips. In addition to those lip glosses from Victoria's Secret, I feel like everybody had the perfumes and the body splashes and the lotions from Victoria's Secret. Those were also extremely popular. I had the one that was called Heavenly. It was called Heavenly, and it actually, I mean, it smelled obviously incredibly sweet, but it had sort of a, vanilla, musky, gourmand scent. I had the perfume, I had the lotion, I had the body splash, and then what was that other one that was really popular? Love Spell. Love Spell was the one that my sister had. I think my aunt must have bought these for us for Christmas or something along those lines. And Love Spell smelled so awful to me. Don't come for me, guys. Don't come for me. Comment down below if you used to wear Love Spell. I would love to know, because I think that was the most popular scent, but it was so like gourmand and fruity. Oh God, it's just so awful. But it was a very teenager scent. I think they were really coming after us young folks, us teenagers, for those super sickeningly sweet and fruity and vanilla-y teenager scents. Does anyone remember that? I'm guessing that these fragrances are still around. I just haven't been to a Victoria's Secret in forever. And speaking of juicy tubes, okay, I have a little miniature gross Lancome juicy tube here in the shade Miracle. Man, these were another thing that I remember my cousin and my older female relatives having. These were the ish. These remind me of early 2000s. I was so happy. I think last year when Lancome re-released the Juicy Tubes, or at least new shades, I don't know where they went for some time, but I did buy a couple of them, and I still love these guys. I still love the fruity smell. I still love the texture. I know for a lot of people this is maybe a little bit too sticky, but it really takes me back, and it's not just nostalgia. I actually just really love the Lancome Juicy Tubes. Comment down below if you used to use the Lancome Juicy Tubes, and if you remember what color, let me know which color you used. Did you have this one, which is called Miracle? I'm not sure what brand this one is, but this is a Lancome lipstick, and I just wanted to show you guys these super frosty pink lipsticks that I used to have. Talk about the early 2000s. Everything was super frosty pink, frosty silver. It was like the new millennium. Like, this was it right now. And I feel like nobody wears these colors anymore, but I have very fond memories of super frosty pink lipstick and glossy lips. Very Britney Spears. Loved these. Okay, and lastly, I have these two Chanel lip glosses in the colors Barely Raspberry and Spark. Spark is almost used up. I remember this being one of my favorite lip glosses in high school. I remember getting these, not at the same time, obviously, because these are very expensive, but I remember getting these and thinking, man, I have Chanel lip glosses. Like, I just thought that this was the coolest thing ever. I felt so luxurious using these. This must have been something that I got in high school when I was older, had more spending money. I went to the counter. I had the guts to go up to the Chanel counter and actually buy these at Macy's. That is it for the makeup, but I do want to show you this one last thing that I made when I was younger that my mom discovered when she was cleaning out the basement earlier this year. This is apparently called the Body Book Junior, and it says, some of my most favorite recipes for natural body care includes facial, hand care, foot care, and bath recipes. So this is a little manual that I created with tips and tricks and recipes for creating your own like masks, creating your own body scrubs, those types of things. And I think I had a book called The Body Book that came with all of those different recipes. And I used to love making all of those little products and then roping in my sister and my friend and forcing them to do spa days with me. I remember at some point last year, my sister was like, yeah, remember when you used to force me to do facials and things? But also, can we just admire the beautiful PowerPoint skills that I used to have? Why is there this random flower in the middle? I don't know, but that's what I wanted to do at the time. These were my expert design skills, people. A lot of people tell me you're always so animated when you're talking about makeup and beauty and skincare, and you can clearly see I've been obsessed with this my whole life. Some things absolutely never change. I am truly, genuinely so excited about beauty, so excited about makeup and skincare. I love talking about it with you guys, and that's one of the reasons why I started this channel, because I wanted an outlet to be able to connect with other people that love beauty just as much as I do. This is a fantastic hobby for me, a lifelong hobby for me. And so again, that's one of the reasons why I started my channel, to connect with you guys and to be able to share my love and my passion for beauty with others. Anyway, friends, I hope that this was interesting to you. I hope that maybe you learned a little bit about me. Hopefully you were able to reminisce about some of the products that you used when you were growing up, and comment down below. Let me know, like, what were your ride or die products growing up? What did you use up? What did you hit pan? Do you remember buying anything special like my Dior Voyage lip towers that you just cherish, that were super special and luxurious for you, or seemed super luxurious to you at the time? Comment down below and let me know what those were for you. And if you guys have made it this far into this video, please give me a thumbs up. As I mentioned before, it really helps my channel. And please consider subscribing to my channel. I have some amazing new release reviews that I'm going to be doing for you over the next couple of weeks. Let me know what kind of videos you guys are definitely interested in down below, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.